Hey guys, it's Angelo, and like many of us, I too am following BlizzCon closely to see which exciting features World of Warcraft's upcoming expansion, Battle for Azeroth, will bring. Honestly, the new content looks amazing, and the Alliance vs Horde themed setting is something pretty classic and very engaging. Now, with the expansion, Blizzard is giving us players a new type of artifact, the Heart of Azeroth. While it's not exactly like the artifact weapons we currently have in Legion, the Heart of Azeroth, at least according to the info we got from BlizzCon, shares quite a bit with the artifact weapons. And while this is certainly good in many ways, this also raises a few concerns in my opinion. In this video, I primarily want to address said concerns and elaborate on problems that I foresee coming in the future, in hopes that they won't appear of course. Now, sit back, relax, and let's have a look. Now, before we discuss my concerns with the Heart of Azeroth, let me give you a recap on what exactly this new item is and what it does. The Heart of Azeroth is a necklace, gifted from our planet's titan Azeroth. Who would have guessed? It's a new take to the artifact system we currently have, which plans to offer more variety and less linear pathing and can be leveled up using Azerite, which is its equivalent to artifact power for all intents and purposes. Whenever you as a player do an activity to gain Azerite, it is directly channeled into your Heart of Azeroth, allowing you to unlock ranks that give you an assortment of abilities to choose from on an expanding set of rings. Now, these abilities you get will be assigned to a certain item slot, currently either shoulders, helm, or chest, and while you're wearing that item, your ability gains this set buff. Getting a new item won't change the power of your Heart of Azeroth, so having to re-level your abilities will not be an issue. Good. With that being said, the first question we need to ask with this new mechanic is, will our choices really matter? And in my opinion, this question is genuinely justified. Let's take Blizzard's very own example here to start us off. A shaman has a Heart of Azeroth power of 20, which unlocks 2 rings on the neck. The third requires level 21. Said shaman or shaman can choose one ability from the first 2 ring tiers to empower, such as increased Ghost Wolf speed or more damage reduction on Astral Shift. When he unlocks the third ring by gaining Azerite, he gets to choose between several different abilities in that tier to empower. This tailors your character individually from everyone else, and in this example, the shaman gets to choose between survivability or mobility. Where in theory this sounds very good and seems to elaborate on individualized gameplay, in practice we've had a similar progression system before, and in fact currently have it as well, which I'll get to momentarily. Now, when getting to choose between mobility and utility, like in the case of this example, an eager raider, or high keystone level player, or honestly any PvE player that takes the game half-what seriously, will ask themselves the following set of questions. What directly increases my damage or healing more, or survivability as a tank, and what supports me doing my said job the most? When having to choose between survivability and mobility, 9 times out of 10 players will choose survivability. Why? Simple example. When the shaman is forced to use his Astral Shift, this means that something must have happened that pushed him far enough to use this ability. And the mobility increase he'd get from Ghost Wolf wouldn't have saved his life when he knows this damage is incoming, or has already come. Even when it's an ability you can move out of, you're always going to get at least 1 tick of the ability, meaning the Astral Shift buff will be more lucrative than the Ghost Wolf buff here as well. While it's debatable that this isn't a big of an issue when choosing between mobility and survivability, the lines get more black and white and a lot more crass when choosing between, for example, a flat-out buff to your fire elemental totem or a movement speed increase on your Ghost Wolf. Most, if not all players, will take the damage increase in this case, and this will ultimately make the choices you have in your Heart of Azeroth an illusion, because really there isn't a choice at all. We've seen this before in the old talent trees, from classic World of Warcraft up to Wrath of the Lich King. All specs had such a variety of talents and buffs to choose from, but ultimately, in every case, players only went for the one single path that was most effective in their role. After all, this was one of the reasons Blizzard removed these talent trees from the game and adding new ones in Cataclysm. By now though, even these talent trees are struck by the curse of the old ones, because the only time you truly see players using a different talent for something is when 1 or 2 bosses out of a raid particularly let you utilize a different talent more. This of course isn't the case for all classes, but a lot of specs do face this problem. The second problem I'm seeing with the Heart of Azeroth and its mechanic is that it will ultimately become another grind that players will indirectly be forced to participate in. Now, it hasn't been stated yet specifically how and where you will farm Azerite for your Heart of Azeroth, but I'm assuming that it'll be somewhat similar to artifact power, meaning you gain it through doing rewarding activities. Now, depending on how game-changing the Heart of Azeroth will turn out being, this could mean that we'll be looking at yet another grind that will have to take place before raids open up and during the raid progression as well, and even after. Again, I don't want to spread too much concern on this problem yet though, as there isn't enough information yet. Ultimately, there is still a lot of information on this topic yet to be released, but I'd be interested to see whether or not these problems will be addressed in the future. I'm sure I'm not the only person who has concerns with the Heart of Azeroth mechanic, and I'm certainly not the only one who would love for this new item to be an integral, fun, and positively engaging part of gameplay in battle for Azeroth. Let me know what you guys think. Will the Heart of Azeroth bring back problems that its predecessors, the artifact weapons, currently have? Will it bring out new ones? Or will it fix former issues and build up on promising new gameplay mechanics? I'd be excited to read what you have to say, and of course, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, feel free to leave a like, and of course, as always, have a good one, and I will see you all in the next one.
A lifetime in repeat.